Hi everybody, it's Birdie. Welcome back to my channel at Positive Bluebird. I just wanted to take this moment to tell you that I am feeling about maybe 85% better from last night's little excursion down to the ER after tweaking my back from just trying to put my coat on. It shows your age. I know I'm not old, but when you have a lot of health conditions related to autoimmunity and bone disorder and arthritis and all of that, it takes a toll on you, let me tell you. So now I have to kind of think before I act. Anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody for being so supportive of my channel, and sending your friends and family on over really means a lot to me. It's the holiday season, and my son and I have been truly blessed for everything that we have been going through, and the outcome from it has been geared in a positive manner and positive direction that I just couldn't be more thankful this holiday season. So I hope everything is going well for all of you. And I wanted to say that, despite hardships in life with disabilities or people that you know are going through illnesses, or maybe a friend, and the challenges around that can be very, very difficult. So I want to urge everybody to reach out, get the support that you need, go to therapy, talk to a friend, a loved one, somebody that you can trust, and maybe go to church, maybe study directly from the Bible at home if you're not able to go to a congregation. Just anything to keep you focused and happy. And that's exactly what I've been doing. That's all you can do. You have to focus on moving forward to get to where you want to be in life, and to never give up. So, with that, I wanted to tell you a short story of somebody that was extremely inspiring in my life, and that was my grandmother. On my mom's side, she was my grandma Short. That was her last name, and she truly, truly taught me the person that I am today. She taught me how to sew. She owned her own sewing machine, and it was a Singer sewing machine. Those are the best kind, by the way. And I bought mine, which I believe is in storage, for I think $199, and it was on sale versus like maybe 450, because those things are not cheap. So I feel pretty good that I snagged that deal. Um, and growing up in the 70s and watching my grandmother being a seamstress and giving to the community and donating really inspired me along the way, and has made me the person I am. I do a lot of crafting, as you know. I have sewn a few children's totes and hats and scarves and little baby blanket snugglies. And I've also donated to Children's Hospital in my area, and given it to children in a little, I guess it's a treasure box in the cancer unit. And you're not allowed to go back and see the children because of the HIPAA laws, but it felt good to put those items in the treasure box so that they can be distributed around the holidays. And sometimes I'll put a little business card inside each one, giving my name and websites and all of that. I'm not a full-blown business, but I don't mind selling a few things here and there, obviously. That's my passion. I just want to give to the community of what has been given to my son and I. So when you get the opportunity, whether you're a seamstress or a baker or crafter, I urge you to give back to society And if it means baking some cupcakes and you put them in tin foil with a cute little bow on the top, and you just go door to door and say, hey, try my cupcake. What do you think? If you like it, here's my business card. But just start off by donating because it'll really warm your heart, not just for the holidays, but all year round. Um, and another thing that I learned from my grandmother is to never give up. My grandmother, when I was 12 years old, I want to say it was 1985, I was the one out of the whole family of seven that witnessed her have a stroke. I didn't know what was going on. She was running the warm water and a washcloth over the left side of her face. And when she came out of the bathroom, she wasn't talking right. This whole side was drooping. And I knew immediately at the age of 12 that something was not right with my grandmother. So I ran for help and called my parents downstairs because that's where all of our rooms were. And they came running up those stairs so quickly that they called 911. And from there, I was deemed a hero. And I didn't want to look at myself that way. I just felt this is my family. Even if she wasn't family, you have to do the right thing and not ignore the signs. So I didn't know what a stroke was. I started educating myself through books at the library because back then we didn't have the internet as we do today. And we didn't have Google and all of that stuff. So I educated myself in the library. That is my medication alarm. Stay right there. I'll be right back. Isn't this thing cool? I got this from my home health care unit, and it just reminds me of a flying disc or something. But in order for it to shut up, you have to tilt it. And it dispenses your medication. Yeah, I'll just put that right back in that little hole there. It turns, it's like a little turn dial. And so there's slots in there that hold the pills, and when the alarm goes off, it turns the dial and it dispenses your medication. I bet my grandma wished she had one of these. Okay, anyway, but yeah, so I recognized the signs of a stroke. I started learning about it. And then, unfortunately, back in the day, there wasn't a whole lot of help. You know what I mean? I believe hospice came to the home. It was a visiting nurse to try to help my grandmother, but it became extremely expensive. So, I started taking care of my grandma. I didn't want to at the age of 12 because I thought, hey, I'm a kid. What am I going to do? And that was really hard on me. I wanted to be a kid and go hang out at my friend's house and go to slumber parties and but there was no help and I felt guilty. So I did suck it up, and my parents worked around that schedule to give me that life with my friends as well as taking care of my grandmother. And to this day, I have no regrets. It taught me to grow up quickly, and to compromise in life and to realize that this could happen to me someday. It's in my blood. Just like my dad that died of a heart attack 23 years ago, that is being looked at with my health as well. So, unfortunately, my grandmother became very sick and had Alzheimer's, and hospice was too expensive. It was too much for me to try to take care of my grandmother with Alzheimer's. So, my parents had no choice but to put her in hospice nursing home. And she did die in the home. And back then, I believe there was a lawsuit in Colorado against hospice. And again, I'm not trying to bash them or anything. They have come a long way. They've learned a hard lesson in life, but they were in a lot of trouble. They just were neglecting their patients, and So a lot of people ended up not being cared for properly. And I believe today's world, there's more training out there, and more background checks and things like that. So, um, I miss my grandma, but I'm not going to point the finger and say, I hate you people for killing her. I think she died a very lonely woman. She was 72. And now today, there's modern medicine out there greater than ever before, where people are living in their 90s. So that's my goal. I will be on kidney dialysis between 10 to 20 years, is what I was told. And so my goal at the age of 43 is to try to surpass my grandmother's age when she died. She didn't die of any kidney diseases. That was from my dad and his side of the family, and his two great uncles. Even though my dad died of a massive heart attack on the job as a law enforcement officer. But, with all of my health conditions inherited from my grandmother and my dad's side of the family as well, you try to educate yourself the best that you can through technology of the internet, websites, make sure that you're not diagnosing yourself, but you're also speaking to your own health care, to educate, them of what you're going through so that you could all work together as a team and try to help with more diagnosis and modern medicine and things like that. So, but anyway, that is my story. um, I really admired my grandmother, especially when she used to sew Cabbage Patch doll clothes. I couldn't believe it. I had two Cabbage Patch dolls in 1985, ironically, and my mother waited in line for maybe 2 hours at Target. Um, and yeah, I have a black doll and a white doll, and they are in storage, I believe, I hope. And I say that I don't know if these items are in there because the stupid storage people, the movers, it was chaotic the way that they moved things and left things behind. It was a mess. But anyway, so I hope I have those dolls. One of these days, if I unpack, I will show you. But my grandmother crocheted their clothing. She hand sewed them. She used the sewing machine. And she even opened up our home to the neighborhood kids that came by and bought these Cabbage Patch doll clothes. And they were just darling. I loved them. So, but that's my story for today. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful weekend. The sun is shining here in Colorado. It's about to set, and I need to go take my pain meds. That's why the alarm went off, because the pain is now hurting again. But I love you guys, and I really, really appreciate all of you. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below, give it a big thumbs up and a like, and send me some nice positive comments. And again, ignore the bad ones. Yeah. So that's about it, guys. Have a wonderful evening and happy holidays to you.